Wanted to take a moment here, especially with this video. Ideally, and really this video is designed for you, the new user. So you are a brand new user. The assumption I'm going to go under here with this video is that you are brand new. What are you looking at? What is Lansweeper? What does it do? What do these things look like? And just try to bring a little bit of clarity for you. So want to look at three different areas here. We're going to look at the what do you see? What does Lansweeper see specifically? What do you see when you get in of what Lansweeper sees? That's kind of a play on words, but I think you get the point. What is it that Lansweeper can see in your environment, and what does it visually look like to you? So I wanted to talk about a few things. First of all, Lansweeper can discover IT assets, OT assets, Internet of Things assets, IoT assets. It can look at users. It can also get into Amazon, AWS, GCP, which is the Google network, Azure, Intune, and we can capture all of those users, all of the different endpoints in these environments. And ultimately what it ends up doing is bringing all of that information together into one pane of glass, Lansweeper's platform in the cloud, to give you visibility and give you insights that you can interact with those assets. Okay, so let's get right into Lansweeper so you can see what the assets that have been added into Lansweeper looks like. Here we are. I have just logged into Lansweeper. I'm inside of one of my sites that has all different kinds of different assets. And hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate a bunch of these different assets to you. So I'm going to go into my assets view. Actually, before I even get into my assets view, let's take a look at this dashboard. We have BI-based dashboards now where you can actually interact with them. Maybe as I come down here, I can see these. I've got these different types of assets, and I want to look specifically at my Linux assets. I can select Linux, and the dashboard then changes to then display the Linux asset information. So I can see I've got 100 of those. I've got software, 6,000 pieces of software associated to them. One new asset in the past day. I can scroll down and see the list of different assets that are installed. This is still propagating here. And also these different OS distributions. So maybe I want to see specifically of these Linux assets, I want to look for the Ubuntu. So I'm going to filter out that. And again, the whole page will now filter and change. And I have 3 assets. So you can see I can start drilling in and really interacting with these. I'm interested in some of my vulnerabilities. So I select my vulnerability dashboard and be able to start drilling into the common vulnerabilities that are available on the internet that could be impacting my environment. I can see those. I can even filter this page if I happen to know the CVE number, maybe a specific state of assets that are, that I want to filter out on. But it allows you to, these new BI dashboards allow you to interact with and dive into the different components. So if I'm going to go back here to my assets and software page, which is the default, and speaking of, you can select the default dashboard, even though I'm jumping around on you, I apologize. From the vulnerability page, maybe I want to set this as my default. I can set that page as my default. And that way, every time I open it, it will show up just as that. I can go back into my dashboards, go into my assets and software, and let's dive into some of these things here. So inside of that software and assets, I can select the assets. And if I select that, it'll take me into my list of assets and filter those out. I can see the filter in the upper right corner, what filters may be applying. By selecting that, I can see that the state is active. So I'm only seeing the active active assets here. Where I am at inside of the platform, I went inside of my assets menu. I'm currently listed inside of here. I can select this again and it takes off those filters. I can see my entire list. Again, the BI dashboards are up on top here where I can select the different things. So I'm going to select my Windows, and then it filters out to only show me my Windows assets. You can see all these different types of asset types. It is kind of small print because I've got a bunch there, but I've got several GCP. I've got some Azure ones in here as well. I should have I don't know if I have actually AWS in here. So if I wanted to look at an individual asset, maybe you're looking just at high level. I can select the individual asset and get some high level common information that's over here. So looking at, this particular server, I like to drill into and see some information. Maybe you want to get more information about this server. You can select the go to button here, or in the upper right corner, you can see the same thing there. And then you can drive into seeing all of the information about this particular asset, hardware, software, the different relationships. This particular server, I have it related to the print server. So this particular printer is associated to it, and it's connected to this printer. I can go into the configuration items and see some of those configuration items. Maybe you want to see all of the additional fields, or a whole bunch of information. We have all these different fields, and you can see a big list of information that is provided, that has been discovered with this asset. We also have lots of different asset types. Let me actually demonstrate this, because as of current I'm recording this in early 2026. A lot of these asset pages are still being developed because this new UI here is still very new. Let me go into the old UI and look at the list of assets there, so I can show you some other assets that I want to be able to point out to you. So I'm going to look at different asset types. Let me see if I can find just a printer. Hey, look at that. I've got a printer on here. So if I select my printer, I can see the different toner levels or ink levels that are on here. I can see the OIDs that it's specifically querying, serial number that it's active, the make and the model, information like this. I can scroll down a little bit. I can see some of this network connection information. This networking information is very helpful for me inside of the diagrams, which we'll display in just a minute. Let me go into another type of asset. If I was to go into an asset type that is, let's see, let's grab a switch here, because switches are kind of interesting to look at. Let me grab this switch here on top. There we go. So we can see this switch here. And if I scroll down, we have the life cycle. So we can see that it is, whether it's in warranty or not. I scroll down a little further and get a bunch of information. So if I have custom fields and so forth that I want to display there, I can see that. If I go into configuration, I have the access to all of the different ports of this particular switch. So I can see that there are different VLANs, different assets that are actually connected to this particular switch as well. So we can see the different connections that are on this particular asset. It's very similar when I look at the asset type that is a ESXi server. Let me see if I've got one here that we can get into. And it will also show you and demonstrate all of the different connections. I believe it's under configuration. VMware. There we go. We can see the different guests that are hosted on this particular machine. We see these. We have 5 of them here, 6 of them here. So it gives you a quick overview to be able to really drive into. And of course, if you wanted to, you can click on this and it takes you over to that asset as well. Let me jump back over to the new UI to be able to show you a few things here. How did all this information get here? This information gets here through the administrator. Maybe you are or are not the administrator, but the administrator before you has created credentials and has created these credentials. Oh, I'm in the wrong site. Forgive me. Let me go into my site here. There we go. Where I've got some credentials that have been created. And I take these credentials then and I assign them into a discovery action. This action has got a or multiple targets where that target could be an IP range. It could be a cloud-based platform like GCP, AWS. It could also be SCCM. It could be an individual asset, individual IP. And we can do CIDR notations as well. So the whole range. With this information, then some really cool information that I really love to dive into are the risk insights. So we can see the vulnerable assets that are listed here. We have a lot of visibility into which assets are vulnerable. Maybe you want to look into which vulnerabilities are actually impacting your environment, and you can see the number of assets. So we've reversed it from assets that are impacted by a vulnerability to the vulnerability and those impacted assets. We can also diagram out. So we have virtual environments we can diagram. We have the network topologies for the local network. And if I had connected, which I don't in this particular site, I don't have any cloud environments, but it would also map out a cloud environment to show you the different relationships that have been mapped. And if you wanted to create any automations, we have Flow Builder to create some of those automations. So this is just a high level of things that you can see inside of Lansweeper. Next, I want to take a look and see, how do you manage these things? How do you navigate around a little bit more and get a little bit, dive into a little bit more information with these things, and to be able to manage your assets and manage your environment to better suit your technical needs, and as well as your hopefully creating some insights into what you need to do to protect and secure your environment.